Some things people don't know about Chelseahart. I'm sure many of you are aware of the recent drama between Chelseahart and Modern Warrior, aka Lance Sosi. I'm not here to offer any commentary on that specific issue. For context, Chelsea isn't somebody that I've had the displeasure of meeting personally, but as you can probably tell from my accent, I'm from London, innit? And her and I both spent some time on the London comedy circuit. One thing Chelsea didn't take into account when she decided to take aim at some of my content at the start of the year was we both know some of the same people. Self-described comedian Chelseahart, while living in London, actually made more of a name for herself accusing her fellow comics of sexual harassment rather than actually being funny. On odd occasion, when her jokes were failing, she'd decide to heckle other comedians as well as dancing on stage during her act. While in London, she ended up sleeping with another comic. It has been alleged that they were dating, but she turned nasty when he made it clear that he wasn't interested in anything serious. And at one point, said comic took a selfie with Chelsea sleeping in his bed in the background while her shoulders were on display. At the time, again, allegedly, Chelsea didn't have a problem with this, but after their romance ended and the comic in question moved on and found somebody else, Chelsea got a little bit jealous. She decided to jump on yet another social movement by creating her own Me Too moment and accused the guy of sexual harassment. Conveniently, during the run-up to the Edinburgh Comedy Festival, the guy had loads of gigs cancelled and he lost loads of money due to lost venues and accommodation. In Britain, we have a comedy blog-based website called Chortle. It's like the industry go-to guide, if you will. Now, if someone wants to call themselves a comedian because the work that they create ultimately has that sort of tinge about it, then fair enough. But Chelsea often makes herself out to be somewhat of an established comedian. Yet, if you search for Chelsea's name on the Chortle website, nothing comes up. She doesn't have any sort of profile, not even a basic thing like name, date of birth, and a little bio. But what you will find is an article written by Chelsea in June 2020 all about sexual harassment, as well as detailing the events that I'm talking about. The guy may have done something boastful, idiotic perhaps, and again apparently they were dating. But whether or not that's a reason enough to completely obliterate someone's professional journey, I'll let you be the judge of that for yourselves. The only other thing you'll find out about Chelsea is a load of those sort of model type photographs that people pay to have taken of themselves. Not that I'm allowed to show you on this platform, but she's not wearing any pants in that photograph. And after all of that hullabaloo, Chelsea left London to live in Manchester for about a year, while repositioning herself as some sort of woke TikTok icon before leaving the country entirely. Seeing a pattern emerge? Chelsea, Miss Superqueer, willingly involves herself sexually with men, then publicly accuses them of sexual harassment when things don't go the way that she had thought they would. As well as thinking that berating Eastern Europeans in the middle of a fucking war for their supposed white privilege is some sort of noble thing to do.